This is Mara Jane, and you're listening to The Unseen Perspective. Hello and welcome back to The Unseen Perspective. I am your visually impaired host, Mara Jane, and this week I have with me a brand new guest, and we are going to talk about a brand new topic, and I am very excited. So, I have with me Darby Reimer. Can you introduce yourself, Darby, and kind of tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. As Mara stated, my name is Darby, and I am also visually impaired. I'm actually basically totally blind. I have been born and raised in a Catholic family, and my faith is the most important thing in my life. In fact, I want to become a nun when I grow up, and my hope and prayer is that my blindness doesn't stop this, but actually makes more opportunities to help and inspire other people.
That's very lovely. I'm sure you'll make a great nun. But today we are going to talk about our Catholic faith, like she was talking about, and how our blindness is affected, or how our blindness affects that and how it factors in. So, I don't know, about any blind nuns, but I'm sure it's a thing. Surely if that's what you feel called to, the Holy Spirit will find a way to put you there. But I do think that it's a good point. How do you think that your visual impairment could be a challenge when in that field?
So, actually, I've only heard of one other blind nun, and she is in Italy. So it's not a super common thing, but it can happen. And I love the point that you made about the Holy Spirit, because no matter what happens, He's in control, and that's the most important thing to remember. But I have experienced some challenges because of my blindness. A lot of communities that I have contacted were very hesitant to invite me to do retreats or interact with them in any way. So I have never been to a come and see retreat or any kind of in-person discernment. So I think the main, and I've been directed by multiple people that going to college and getting some of that experience first is going to really help me. But generally you don't have to do that to become a nun. That's just something they prefer. But because of the factors with my blindness, it's going to be necessary to kind of prove myself in a sense before I can even apply to any more communities.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I have a friend at K-State who just did a come and see retreat recently. But I guess it's hard to come and see when you can't see, but I don't know. I think that you will be able to prove yourself because I've known you for a long time, and I know that you have such a strong and wonderful faith, and blindness just isn't something that can take away from that. And like you said, I think it kind of adds to it because we walk by faith and not by sight. So
Absolutely.
There's a part of blindness that not a lot of people think about, and it's it involves a lot of trust. So we have to be guided around a lot, and other things like that. So we are putting our lives and our day-to-day practices into the hands of other people and obviously God. So it can be kind of overwhelming at first, but it's something that definitely strengthens your faith in the end. And I think it's a very cool aspect. So, Darby, I don't know if you listened to my episode from last week. I think it was last week's episode, but I talked about thinking about having a conversation with someone and looking up at the stars and being like, wow, those are beautiful stars, and then they would agree with me, and then I would be like, guess what though, I can't actually see them. I just know that they're there, and I know that they're beautiful because I have sufficient evidence to believe that without actually seeing that. And then I kind of like connected that back to my faith and like how that's kind of how I think about God.
That is so true. I think, there's a lot of times people will describe a statue or something, and and there's a lot of times because I think a lot about heaven and what it would look like, and when we get to, see Jesus face to face, and it's those kinds of things that it's something that you can't see now. I have no idea what the statues or images in the church look like, but I know they're beautiful, and 100%. I know that if I could see them, I wouldn't be surprised by how beautiful they were, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I agree. I think that being blind definitely helps you trust others. And I really think it also helps you to be resilient because, regardless, like, people are going to just make life more difficult for you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fact that you can, stay strong in your faith in the face of rejection, in the face of mockery, or whatever it is that you're dealing with in the blindness, or even just trying to figure out where you're going, because I do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a testament to how strong your faith is. It's a lot easier to be strong in your faith when everything is going well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the two things, like blindness and faith, definitely go hand in hand with one another. And I think that's a cool, unique experience that we have as visually impaired Catholics. But you said you were going to Benedictine next year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really exciting because I know that's a good school. And I was considering going there, but I ended up going to K-State. But what are you looking forward to most about it, and what are you nervous about?
So, I think what I'm looking forward to the most is just the strong faith life there. I've never been able to go to a Catholic school because they were not able to provide, like, the Catholic school back in my town only goes to elementary school, and they weren't able to provide the services I needed. So I've always been in public schools, and it's always been kind of draining. So I'm really excited to go to a school that I can align with a little bit better and hopefully meet nice people. But I'm nervous about literally everything else. Like, if I didn't have to go, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good stomping ground for a while.
Yeah, I didn't know that you have never gone to a Catholic school before. That's wild.
Yeah.
Because I went to, and it is understandable because they're not funded by the government, so, like, they don't have to do as much in terms of accommodations. I personally have been pretty lucky, especially with Catholic high school, with, like, having a strong support system. But it is really, you have to have people that really want to help you, which unfortunately isn't common. So, yeah, but
yeah.
I don't know how, like, accessible, quote-unquote, Benedictine is, but I do know that a friend of ours went there who has a visual impairment, so that's promising. But, I mean, I think you're, like, a good advocate. I think you'll thrive there as long as they want to help you, which if they don't, then that's their fault.
So far, they've seemed really open, so I'm hoping that continues.
That's good.
Yeah, as of right now, they want to do everything they can. Once the school year actually gets started, we'll see. Find out.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I mean, I have had a good experience with K-State, which has kind of been surprising considering that it's
Surprising to me too, actually.
Yeah, it's a public school, and
I heard they didn't have the best accessibility.
Yeah, for me personally, it's been a wonderful experience, and the people here are like very, very accommodating and like willing to listen to things. But I don't know, maybe I have that sweet spot of vision where like my accommodations are good. But I don't know. It is kind of sad though, because I'm the only blind person on campus right now. But Mary obviously is coming this year, and so that'll be fun. There'll be 2 blind people on campus.
I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could like come with you guys. That'd be so fun.
I know, you could live with us. It'd be so fun.
Yes, it would be great.
But are you gonna be a freshman even though you did like a semester of kind of college this year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I probably have enough credits to maybe graduate early, but I don't know. I'm just glad I get to start as a freshman because they have a lot of cool traditions.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
I went on a visit there, like 2 years ago, and I do remember they had a lot of, like, fun freshman traditions, but I'm sure you'll enjoy that.
I hope it goes well.
What kind of things, like, special things do they do for freshmen? I don't remember.
So, a lot of it is stuff I don't like mingling things, but...
Ew, mingling!
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, but, they have this thing where, like, the first week of classes, I think it is, the freshmen have to wear these freshman beanies, and then the seniors will, if they pull on your beanie, you have to stand on a chair and caw like a raven, which is their mascot. And they have a lot of, like, prayer traditions. I think there's, seems like when you first start, you do something, put your name on a cross or something, and then when you graduate, I don't remember. That one was really cool, but I don't remember how it works.
I did remember there was something with beanies. I couldn't remember what it was, though.
Yep, that's what
funny.
it is.
That is wild.
Yas.
You'll have to visit my grandma. She lives right there.
She does? That's right.
I'm sure we do, but I haven't done, like, not anything that sticks out to me. Like, we didn't have any, like, freshman practices. At least that I remember. I might have blocked it out. It might have been traumatizing. I don't know.
That is so valid, honestly.
I remember, like, because I got here, like, a week before school started, and we did just, like, I don't know, fun introductory stuff. Like, we went to the Union, and we made, like, stuffed animals, and, oh my gosh, what else did we do? That seems like so long ago now. I personally did a leadership summit, so it was, like, a couple of days, and there was, like, 100, 200 of us, and we, like, went to talks and presentations, and talked to one another, and basically learned how to be better leaders, so that was fun.
Nice.
But I don't remember, like, in terms of K-State-wide traditions. I feel like such a bad wildcat right now, but I don't, like, nothing sticks out to me.
I don't think they really do much. I mean, I know they do Wabash Cannonball, and that's supposed to be a big deal. At least it was when Mom was in school.
Yeah, I went to one football game, and it was terrible. I hate sporting events. Ugh.
Why? Was it boring or loud or all of the above?
Yes. It was so, like, overwhelming, but, like, underwhelming at the same time.
Yes. That's kind of how I feel about sports. Like, I like it to go in person for the ambience, but, like, after a while, it's kind of boring, and I do not watch it on TV, because that's really boring.
Yeah. Well, when you can't see what's going on, it's like, what the heck? Why is everyone screaming?
Exactly. And then it's like, well, okay, yay, somebody ran with a ball. Okay?
Yeah.
Like...
And, like, football's already hard to understand for sighted people, so I'm like, okay, sure.
Have fun with that.
And the student section is so loud, and, like, half the students there are like have been drinking. I'm like,
Oh, goodness.
get me out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming.
Oof.
Personally, I'm not a fan, but I know a lot of people like that. Are you
I don't know if I
planning?
would like that to that degree.
Are you planning on going into like sporty events at Benedictine?
I would if, like, somebody wanted to go, and because I do kind of like to check it out, especially since it's on a much smaller scale. It shouldn't be quite so overwhelming. But I don't know. I probably won't go there on my own.
Yeah, I went with my friends. That would be horrible going alone.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. It was so awful though, because I remember, like, they're the type of people who enjoy that type of thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to bring the mood down, but like, this is literal torture to me. My bad, guys.
Sorry.
But yeah, I never did that again.
Yeah, I get that.
Benedictine, I mean, I feel like you could go to like a soccer game maybe or something, and it wouldn't be as rowdy.
And I feel like even football, like, apparently they have good school spirit, but like, hopefully it won't be. There's definitely not as many people. So
K-State is pretty big and spirited.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how people enjoy it, but they do. And, you know, as long as they're happy, I guess.
Good for them, yeah.
Good for them. I don't
own.
know. To each their own.
Stay with my choir room, my voice lessons.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I miss choir.
Did you not do choir this year?
No, I thought about it, but like, it's different in college because, you know, it's not like you're working towards a degree rather than just like going to school, which I probably could do a choir, but I'm planning on like getting a job next year, and who knows what else I'll be doing, so.
That makes sense.
I would like to be in a quartet again, though. That was fun.
Oh, your quartet was so good.
Thank you. It was a fun. I love singing, and I love singing with other people. I feel like I never do it anymore, though.
It's really fun, though.
Maybe I'll join the St. Izzy's choir.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
I'm in their group me for some reason.
Oh.
I think I joined, like, thinking I might do it, and then I just never left.
Oopsie.
Have you heard anything about the student center at K-State? Catholic Student Center?
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Like, they have a really good faith life, and the church is big and stuff, but I don't know a lot.
The church is gorgeous.
We watched a lot of St. Izzy's stuff over quarantine because they had their online masses.
Oh, yeah.
But that's really the only interaction I've had with it.
Yeah, the church is really pretty. They just redid it all.
Okay.
But, yeah, I would say it's a pretty good Catholic center. I'm pretty sure it's, like, famous for how great it is. But, it's, like, I mean, I like going there and just hanging out. And, you know, we get bread donations, so that's always fun. And I personally go to a women's group every Friday morning at 6:30, which the timing isn't ideal, 6:30 a.m.
No.
But it's fun. We, like, pray and eat breakfast and talk about various things. But that is fun, so that's one way that I'm involved. But just like masses, they have daily mass at 9:09 p.m., which I don't know why it's at 9:09, but
why,
you know.
I was gonna ask, why 9:09? Like, why not 9 or 9:10?
I think it's like clubs or something end at 9, so they want to give people time, but I don't know. I don't know why it's 9:09.
9:10.
I don't know. I need to ask somebody about that, but we're gonna
There has to be some meaning behind that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is. I just don't know what it is. But we're going to be living right behind the church next year. So I'll have to ask someone about that. We'll be like a few yards from the priest's house. So
Oh wow, that's cool.
yeah, it's very fun location. But yeah, there's a church, and then there's like the surrounding area with like a cafeteria sort of thing where we do swing dancing and stuff like that. And then like couches, a bunch of couches, and like rooms where you can meet with Bible studies and whatnot. It's a really cool place.
That's awesome. It sounds beautiful.
It is. The church itself is like really pretty. I don't know. Does Benedictine have... What church do you guys go to?
So there's, on the north of campus, there's an abbey, and that's where all the monks live. They have daily masses there. And then on the very far south, like, I don't think it's technically on campus, but it's really close, is St. Benedict's Parish.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the students utilize that for daily mass as well. So I think you could go to either one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think you guys had, like, a specific church. Like,
No.
I guess St. Izzy's isn't on campus, but it's, like, really nearby.
Okay.
And
So
we're...
it's kind of a similar situation then.
Yeah, and we're not even a Catholic university, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome that you have the opportunity, because I think there were some universities that my TVI and people were trying to convince me to go to because they're really good for visually impaired people.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not Catholic, and there's not even a Catholic church nearby. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like, I might go to a non-Catholic university if there's a church nearby.
Right.
But if there's nothing, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get your priorities straight.
Yep.
But if you need to transfer anywhere, K-State, we'll be there waiting. We would love to have you.
It would be awesome to be there with you guys.
Yes, I miss you, Darby. We haven't gotten to hang out in, like, years.
It's so sad. I didn't see you at all. No, I saw you at Heather's camp. Never mind.
Oh, yes. Are you doing Heather's camp this year?
Yeah, I graduate this year.
Oh, no!
I know.
We're so old.
I know. I feel old.
I'll have to go and be a counselor. Me and Mary are trying to figure that out. Oh, that's so wild.
One of you needs to be in my cabin because I'm going to be sad if not.
Oh, yes. Me, you, Mary, and Brooke better all be together.
That would be awesome.
One last time, at least. And we keep saying that. We keep saying that, like, every year, but...
One last time.
One last time, again.
This is really kind of the one last time. I mean,
like, for real this time.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like that.
I don't either.
Oh my gosh. Wow. We're just mature adults now. Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho. How lovely.
That's one word for it.
Yep.
We'll have to come visit you, though, because, like I said, my grandma lives nearby, Mimi, and we can go visit her and stay at her house. Oh, that would be so fun.
Oh my gosh, we should do that. We need to make plans.
Yes, we do. Next year is going to be great, I think. I'm looking forward to it.
I sure hope so.
We can hope and pray that it will be good.
We can. And even if it's terrible, at least we can hope and pray that we're still rooted in faith, and that's all we can... Yeah.
That's what matters in the end.
Yep. Exactly.
And, the cool thing about suffering is that's how we grow really close to Jesus.
It is. I read a book. Have you read it? Fatima for... No, not that one. Oh my gosh. What's it called? 33 Days to Morning Glory.
No, but I just read, like, oh my gosh, a book by the same author called 33 Days to Merciful Love.
I want to read that one. Is it good?
Yes, it's so good. You should read it.
Okay, I will. But in 33 Days to Morning Glory, he was talking about, I think it was Mother Teresa who said that suffering is just the kiss of... and I heard somewhere else that the people who suffer are the closest to his heart. And I think those things are like some of the sweetest things to remember, and that kind of helps me get through some suffering when it's really difficult, you know?
Yeah. That is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it is easy to forget because, you know, when we're suffering, we're like, oh, this sucks. But it is really powerful, not only faith builder, but a good strengthener for our relationships with God directly. And that's really cool.
I think, in my life at least, some of the hardest times in my life, I feel like I've seen God's love in the deepest way.
Yeah.
And I think, and also, like, you can help others through your own suffering, and I think that's really cool, too.
Yes. That is really, like, I mean, I love that you can see, like, the beauty in what many would just see as an unfortunate situation. And, like, even with our blindness, it's not really suffering, but it can cause daily difficulties and frustrations. And when you have that foundation of faith, it's just a lot more, not easier, but, like, more rewarding in the end, because you're like, oh, all of this is for a purpose.
Exactly. Like, I don't know how people can do it without God.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I know I couldn't.
I don't, it doesn't compute in my brain.
No.
But
like, I would just be the most pessimistic, everything is horrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would just, there would be no reason, no rhyme or anything, and I would just be angry that I was blind, you know?
Right. And no wonder people are so sad, because, like, if you don't believe in God and, like, see his presence and his love, then, like, why would you even be here at all? But
right.
Once you have that information and you really know that in your heart, like, it's a life changer.
It really is. I think it allows you to see joy when things are good and even when they're not. I think true joy is deep, and it lies in the fact that your circumstances can't change it. It's more about who you're living for and why.
And I think joy and, like, pleasure are obviously very different things, because, like, I could be eating a really good cheeseburger and be like, this is a good cheeseburger, but I could be also, like, having an accessibility issue that's really frustrating, and then I could remind myself, like, oh, this will prepare them for future generations that might include other blind people, and that would make it easier for them. So, like, there's just, like, very different levels of happiness, and I think it's very important to find the happiness even in the darkest areas.
Absolutely.
Because that's where God lives.
Yes, he does. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Wow, that got deep fast. Look at us.
Look at us. We're being just philosophical over here.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally did that on his crucifixion and passion. And he didn't avoid suffering for us, so.
Like, Saint Therese of Lisieux says, like, when you acknowledge your littleness and, like, the brokenness and darkness in your life, that's when God can bend over and pick you up and lift you up to holiness.
I think that saying just touches my heart every time. So it's like just the imagery of it. I love it.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
It is.
We're all little children.
We are so little. We're not informed or strong or anything.
No.
And we need his help badly.
Yeah, I think that image is really good too, because we're all just so broken, and, like, our world is very broken, and I think we've seen plenty of that firsthand as visually impaired people.
Absolutely.
Of, like, people, like, not wanting to help us or, like, underestimating us, but also just
laughing at us.
Yeah, right. and like our own frustrations with, even if it like it isn't prompted by other people, but like feeling bad about ourselves because of our disability or not, and it's just hard to live that sort of way without the positivity.
It is. And there have been so many times where I've questioned everything. I mean, like, I needed, I guess, to be carried in that moment, if we're going by the same imagery. When, like, for example, the first time I heard a bad comment about me, it really wasn't that bad, but, like, it really affected me. And I dwelt on it, and I'm like, I don't know what to do about it. But when I prayed, I felt very close to God's heart, I guess. I knew that he was listening to my concerns, and the very next day, the chapter of the book, I was reading 33 Days to Morning Glory at that point, and the very next day after this happened was a chapter about how much God loves us, and that really reminded me, like, God loves me. He always accepts me, even when I feel unacceptable.
Yeah. I was reading a book, or I am reading a book, and recently I read a passage that was talking about how, like, we shouldn't be getting our sense of worth from other people. We should be getting that from God. This is an anger workbook that I'm working on. But it's like when we get angry, we feel like devalued by other people. And we have to remember that our value does not come from other people. It comes from God, and he's going to love us no matter what we do or no matter how bad of a day we're having. He's always going to love us, like, infinitely. And I think that's, like, so, so important to remember.
That is. It really helps kind of keep you grounded when things are just all over the place.
Ah, yes, being grounded. Life can feel very not like that a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
How was transition? I feel like I haven't talked to you about transition at all.
It was fantastic. I learned so much. Like, I feel like I'm a lot more confident with cooking, but I learned that I don't like it. And Mary liked it, and she was always like, "Man, I hope we get to cook this week," and I'm always like, "I hope we don't get to cook this week." But it was really such a blessing because, like, not only did I get to work on skills all week, but I also really strengthened a lot of relationships that I never could have imagined possible.
Yeah, that's great.
And it, like, just when I thought that I had seen enough, God gave me something else that just blew me away with joy, like, just blessing after blessing.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, I'm so thankful.
Can you explain to our listeners kind of what the transition program is?
So the transition program is generally a year long, but they allowed me to do a semester for various reasons. But the transition program, it allows you can either do a project search where you work in the job setting directly, or you can do the college path, which is what I did, and take college classes full time. And then in the evenings, you would practice living on your own, and you would make your own meals and clean your own living space and just do all the things that adulting requires.
Very nice. And where did you guys live throughout this process?
So we all have a dorm room, and then you move to the apartment generally for like 3 weeks or so. I was there for a month for the snowstorm and all that. And then Mary and I got to move into the cottage, which is like a 2-room separate building. Kind of like a little house. And we stayed there for like 2.5 months because no one else needed to be there. and it was so fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that cottage was a crazy place.
Yeah, I kept hearing about you guys' shenanigans, and I was like, I want to be there.
Yes, there were plenty of shenanigans.
Far away at the Kansas State School for the Blind. Sad. Ugh. But I think you'll do great at Benedictine. I think you'll thrive.
Well, thank you. I sure hope so.
I don't know how Mary's gonna do at K-State. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love Mary. I'm so excited to live with her. That'll be so much fun. We can cook together, because I like cooking.
I like cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely hope and pray for you guys that you have a wonderful year.
Yes, thank you. We are supposed to live in an apartment that's by Izzy's. I said that already. But yeah, it's a really good spot, and it's like close to campus too, so hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it should be great. Seems like it's in a really perfect location. So.
Yes, I think so. But I don't know. We're gonna try to find jobs, I think, and we're each taking like 15, 16 credit hours.
Oh boy, that sounds like not at all full of busyness. No way.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, I hope so. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, so
yes.
I'm sure, yeah.
I think it'll be good. But, Darby, unless there's anything else specific that you want to talk about, I think that's pretty much all we have for you today. So, yeah, thank you for that really nice conversation and for agreeing to be on my podcast, even with all the scheduling difficulties.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry, too.
Thank you so much for having me on. Like, it's been such a blessing.
Oh my gosh, you are a delight.
Oh, thank you. You are too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I miss talking to you.
Me too. We need to hang out. And you live like so far away, and it's so sad.
I know. I'm off in Neverland where the tumbleweeds grow.
We'll see each other at Heather's camp.
Yeah.
Hopefully. True. If me and Mary get that figured out.
Year, though.
Yes, that would be nice. But we'll come and visit you at Benedictine, and it'll be so fun.
Yes, it will.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
But that is all for today. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can do that at The Unseen Perspective 2024. And if you want to give us any feedback or episode ideas, you can DM us on Instagram or comment on a video or podcast episode. Or you can email us at theunseenperspective2024@gmail.com. And our podcast is available on both Spotify and YouTube. Just search The Unseen Perspective, and we would very much appreciate it if you would tune in for more episodes, catch up on old episodes, and thank you so very much for tuning into this episode today. We hope you enjoyed it a lot, and that we were able to make some impact on your life, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye. God bless.